Today on The Report, we bring you a special investigation about the carrot mascot on campus.
Discussing Cal State Fullerton's new approach to Title IX and discriminatory cases.
Plus, the viral Haka protest in New Zealand. The Report starts now.
Hello, I'm Jasmine Alvarez.
I'm Noah Sakatis.
And I'm Justin Rosette. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at The Report CSUF or on our Titan TV Instagram at Titan TV CSUF to keep in touch with us and view our new content.
Cal State Fullerton will be taking a new approach to addressing Title IX and other discrimination reports to better adhere to the California State University system. This step forward will see a consolidation of CSUF's Office for Title IX and Gender Equity with the Office of Discrimination, Harassment, and Retaliation. The merging of the two has resulted in the creation of the new Office for Civil Rights and Equity effective November 12, 2024. The new office is within the Division of Human Resources, Diversity, and Inclusion. It is located in College Park, room 205. This organizational shift comes after CSUF took part in the 2022 and 2023 Cozen-O'Connor assessment. From the report, it was found that while Cal State Fullerton's Title IX and Gender Equity Office functions at seemingly high levels, some issues that presented itself and inconsistent baseline funding and limited staffing hindering progress in outreach, communication, and proactive efforts. The Office for Civil Rights and Equity will be under the leadership of Sarah Bauer, an Executive Director for Civil Rights and Title IX Coordinator. The office will be a centralized hub for the purpose of handling cases of discrimination, harassment, retaliation, sexual misconduct, and other related issues. They will also put forth efforts to offer training, prevention, and awareness programs for the campus community.
You may have seen an orange vegetable looming around school. Well, today, we're going to investigate. Morning, Titans. I am here by the Polack Library on this beautiful Thursday morning, and we're asking students around campus if they've seen a mysterious figure. Could it be a fellow student, a professor, maybe even Tuffy, or the mysterious carrot? I'm here to get to the carrot top of today's matter. What do you guys know about the mysterious carrot?
He walks around holding a sign, and he looks very, very iconic. He's mysterious. He's very mysterious, and he seems nonchalant, too. I wish I could talk to him.
I was sitting, and all of a sudden I just see a carrot, like the top of a carrot.
Walking around holding a sign.
What did the sign say?
I don't know. I didn't read it. I just seen him from far.
I do stuff with the Daily Titan, and they're always texting the chat like, oh, the carrot's on campus. Like, watch out for the carrot.
I've seen him around a couple of times, and I've seen him hand out pens. I'm not sure what that's about.
I don't know what he's doing on campus. I don't really even get like the sign he has. Sometimes I just see him like trekking along, and like no one approaches him. Everyone avoids him. So I don't.
Sure. Big Carrot is gonna go into the ground and start a massive carrot plantation, and we will be slaves to the carrots because the vitamins in it is used to control us. And once it hits midnight on Easter, we will become their slaves.
I've heard it has something to do with like cryptocurrency and something that he kind of like is advertising.
Eventually, the report was able to track down the carrot. Reporter Gabriela Machuca brings you the exclusive.
Thank you for being here. You're something of an enigma on this campus, so we're excited to hear directly from you what it means to be the carrot guy. So for our first question, there are more carrots on other university campuses in Southern California. How did you start as Cal State Fullerton's carrot?
When it comes to the carrot, I was just an average student like everybody else. I knew the carrot guy in UCLA, which is where it started. Well, the project is still small, but our goal is to extend to almost a lot of the campuses in Southern California. I got picked for Fullerton, and I think I was basically only the second carrot at the time. Now I believe we have 4, one at UCLA, one here, one at USC, and one in Santa Barbara.
So can you tell us a little bit about what the Carrot app actually is?
Basically, it's still in its beginning stages. Right now, it's just an app where, I know you guys have seen it, you answer a question on the on the app, and then it gives you coins. You can send the questions to your friends, and we're trying to develop it into something more like to turn it almost into a social media thing. But basically the end goal is to like provide people with a form of cryptocurrency, but not really, which is why like we're trying to work on it better. But as of now, it's just a fun little game, I would say.
Why do you want students to use the Carrot app?
I believe it's a great opportunity to hop onto something new, because like I said, it's relatively new. They're still working on the app, trying to make it better. Right now, it's just an app where you answer questions, but in the future, it could be more. Who knows? Like, it could be in the beginning of a new wave.
And finally, are there any rumors you'd like to address?
Oh, there is one actually. Because of the app Yik Yak, I think there's stipulation that I might be a frat guy. And I would like to clear up that I am not. I am not.
Not a frat guy.
No.
Makes sense.
Just a guy.
Just the Carrot guy. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So who is the Carrot Guy? Carrot Guy sometimes gives gifts to students. Everything from pens, shot glasses, gift cards to actual carrots, holding a sign that has a daily trivia question of the day. We get to the root of the matter, promoting the Carrot app. Carrot is a social messaging network where users can earn cryptocurrency by answering the Daily Dig trivia question. Users get Carrot coins as a result. These Carrot coins can then be used to redeem in-app exclusive NFTs or be transferred to an external wallet. Carrot founder and CEO James Thashian was the original Carrot on campus at UCLA, hoping to gain a student audience for his app. Since then, Carrot Guy has roamed USC, UC Santa Barbara, CSU Long Beach, and our very own Titan turf.
A protest led by the opposition party halted Parliament in New Zealand. It began when opposition party Member of Parliament Hana Rawiti Maipi Clark performed a Maori ceremonial dance called the Haka and ripped the treaty principles bill put forth by the New Zealand Centre-Right Party Act. If passed, the legislation would define in writing the terms of the Treaty of Waitangi, a crucial race relations and founding document. Act leader and Associate Justice Minister David Seymour believes that the courts have gone against the principle of equal rights through systems like ethnic quotas and wants to define in writing that everyone is equal before the law and is entitled to equal protection. Other principles that would be defined in writing include that the rights of the Maori are respected, the government has the right to govern, and Parliament has the right to make laws. The Waitangi Tribunal, established by Parliament in 1975 to report on breaches of Waitangi rights, noted that the treaty principles bill glosses over consultation with Maori. Those opposed to the legislation, many of which are Maori, feel this violates promise of respecting them and protecting their rights. They argue that the court is acting in bad faith against their interests. After leading the protest, Hana Rawiti Maipi Clark was suspended from the House. The bill passed its first reading and will now be sent to a committee for a 6-month public hearing process. A Hikoe peaceful protest march organized by a Maori rights group is making its way towards the New Zealand capital, Wellington. Alright guys, so with this Haka story in mind, I wanted to ask you guys, was this demonstration, ripping up a bill, that's something that's very powerful, you're making a statement. Was that an effective method of protest, given that this has gone viral? So is that an effective way to protest? And Jasmine, I'll ask you first.
I do. I think it is. I think it was very effective. They did a performance art, and Haka is known traditionally. The Haka dance is, in the past, was used as a war dance, and it was used to fire up, the warriors right before battle. But it has evolved into more of a ceremonial dance now, a performative dance now that is, it's very honorable. They perform it at weddings also. So I think there's so much meaning behind it. Not only is this performance art to get the attention of the people, but it's also, I think it is a battle cry. I think it is a battle cry to the Maori people, and rightfully so. I could see why they feel so strongly about the bill, so much so that they ripped it, like you said. But it was effective. It has garnered so much attention. So many people have their eyes on this protest now, and I think they definitely got the eyes of the whole nation watching them.
Definitely. Noah.
Yeah, I believe it was a very powerful moment. It clearly has garnered a very viral audience from watching it all across all platforms. What I believe this is, though, at the external route from overall viewing is the Maori are representing the Labour Party in the New Zealand government, which is an extension of the British government since they're technically still under the Crown. And then the bill that's being passed is being pushed by the Conservative movement. So ultimately what this is from an outside perspective is this is Labour protesting against a Conservative bill. Now, what was outlined in the bill was essentially reformatting the Maori rights of the people. One of the listed legislations in the document is all people in New Zealand are created equal with the same rights, the same legislation, and there's no special inalienable rights given to any individual group of people. What the Maori are against is that what this says is that they are just the same as any other New Zealander, whether that be white, black, whoever. And what that does is that takes away their special rights, the rights that they were laid out in the 1975 bill, which is the one that was previously listed, which is what specified their rights. So what you can say about this is either this is the Maori people against the special rights that they've been given, or what you could also suggest is that this is the Labour Party essentially putting out the race card and saying, oh, the Maori people, you know, they're part of us and they're with us, and you're taking their rights away, where the Conservatives are saying, no, it's a bill laid out that says that all people in New Zealand are created equal. So I believe it's a difficult conversation, but ultimately what it is it's a battle between the two parties. Mm-hmm. But then the Maori people have put themselves in, and they've made it an issue of the culture. What do you guys think?
Well, I think it is an issue of the culture. I think the bill, the way that they've outlined it, is erasing a lot of Maori culture. At least that's how the Maori people feel. And I can see why that's their sentiment. I mean, they are turning buildings that had Maori, that started with Maori language or were in the Maori language, and now they're turning them to English. Tell me that's not erasing your culture. I feel like it is. You know, it's not the same, right? But I am a Latina, and let's say if I saw, you know, La Tortilleria, which means like the tortilla shop, right? And they're like, no, we're turning it to the tortilla shop. That would anger me too. It feels like you are erasing my culture. And I feel like that's the sentiment that they're trying to put forward. You know, they're taking away certain healthcare systems as well that they had placed for them, for the Maori people. And although I get that they're trying to say, oh, you know, it's about being equal to everyone and we're all the same, it's easy to say that in writing, but it's different to actually execute it and to actually treat them the same, and to still, sure, it's not about favoritism, it's not about special treatment, but we can't erase their culture. Right. This is their land, and it was stolen. So, you know, I see why they're fighting to not erase their name. I can see why. Justin, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is a matter of the Maori people feel like they're being silenced in a way. And so I think in terms of its effectivity, I think in the current day in 2024, one of the biggest ways to bring attention to something is to make a statement. And ripping up a piece of a bill in a courtroom and then, like, you know, people doing like the dance, that's a big statement. And so it's definitely, like you said, gotten a lot of people's attention. I think we've seen examples in America of like when people will do things when people aren't listening to you, when you're not feeling heard or respected, like, okay, we have to take it up a little bit. We have to make a real statement. And so I think overall this is like a bold move by her to do and a bold move by the Maori Party. But I think, like you said, it's an issue of like, this bill has been in act this whole time and it's been fine. Like nothing, at least that I've seen, has gone wrong with the bill. Right. So it's like, why now? Why remove this?
If it's not broken.
Why remove this now? And it's kind of like, you know, we've been respectful. You've been respecting us. Why take this away from us? And they're like, the bill was already passed for the first time. So it seems like this bill might go through. So the Maori people are just here like, what did we do to deserve this? Why is this being taken away? Right. And so I respect just, you know, wanting that, just I guess, pushing back against that. And now it's getting the attention of more people. It's getting the attention of more people in New Zealand as well, which that's probably the only thing that could help them at this point, which is to push back more and gain more support. But Noah, did you have any other thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's difficult to kind of associate blame with, for example, white New Zealanders or like the parliamentary government, when what you're saying is the Maori people, you know, they're having a fight where it's like, this is stolen land, this is our land, and what are you supposed to say to like white New Zealanders that were born there and have generations that have gone back? Like, yes, there was obviously trouble and there was violence and there was the stealing of property and land from the past, and there's generations that have gone through with that. But it's like, how do you associate blame with one individual group of people, or how do you blame somebody when everybody that was involved in the violence back then is gone? Like, you can obviously, do reparations, you could apologize for the violence that happened back then, but if you're going to move on as a society, you need to all universally come together and agree. Nobody's going to essentially come together and agree that this is the way to move on through violence or through disagreement. Like, everybody has to come together and decide that this is how we're going to move on, and you can't do that by associating blame or pointing fingers at people. You can apologize for the wrongs of the past, but the best thing to do, honestly, at this point would be to move on. So you can't protest and yell and fight off of something that happened hundreds of years ago when you can apologize. There's a way to move on. There's a process to this. What do you think?
But I don't think that that's what's going on here. I don't think that they're trying to be aggressive or fight. We're seeing here that they are having peaceful protests. They're walking along. Sure, some people might take the Haka dance as aggressive, but it is a performance art. It's no longer a battle cry. Sure, there is that, and like I said, I do think that was kind of like, there's this double meaning behind it, because they are trying to voice, like you said, they're trying to voice their opinions. They're frustrated. What else can they do? But like you said, yeah, we can't blame the people. They're not here anymore, but they can't change the past, but they can try and rectify it. And by doing that, you can't do that by erasing the culture. You can't do that by erasing their language, erasing their values. That's not how we progress. That's not how we move forward. How we move forward is through inclusivity, through acceptance, through tolerance, through becoming more tolerant towards those other cultures, not erasing them. And I don't know. I think that this protest, so far from what I've seen, hasn't gone violent quite yet. I think it's been quite peaceful. They're trying to get their points heard and across. And was it a big statement? Yes. But I think I'm interested to see what will happen, for sure. Yeah.
I'm definitely interested as well. Yeah, we'll definitely be keeping our eyes on what's going on in New Zealand, but we're going to transition now into our first story, which is Cal State Fullerton's revamped Title IX program. So I wanted to ask you guys, do you believe that the changes to this Title IX program will produce better outcomes? And no, I'll come to you first.
I believe it, honestly. However they want to move forward with the Title IX procedures, I mean, we're obviously living in an ever-changing world where symptoms are changing, and obviously the conditions of certain instances between, workplace violence or spousal abuse, it's changing every day, and the rules continue to change. So I think this is ultimately going to be a good thing. What do you think, Jasmine?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think improvements only lead to better things. So I'm excited. Hopefully there's going to be better outcomes. Hopefully the students are feeling safer as well with these new changes in place.
Yeah, I feel like overall Cal State Fullerton is doing a good job with taking things more seriously. Last week a couple weeks ago we talked about the naloxone program. We talked about the new AI center they have. I think one way to really focus on something is to put more attention to it. I think a lot of times students don't really take Title IX super seriously, whether it's like doing it late, whether it's not doing it at all. It's kind of like, yeah, you guys can do it. Like, they put a deadline for it, but at the end of the day, if you don't do it, like, it's not going to be that much of a punishment. I think making a revamped process and putting more attention on it is going to make students take it seriously, which will also have students like just acting better, knowing how to act if they don't already, kind of thing. Right. So I think just putting more attention on it in the long run will be good for the school and for students.
I agree.
Definitely. And have you guys heard of any mishandled cases on campus, or any students who perhaps haven't felt heard?
I do. I'm familiar with like one case of someone that I know, and from what I've heard, it hasn't been handled like super wrong. I think it's just kind of like a slow process. I think in which case, like for victims, it can be like traumatic. Like, like you report something and it takes super long and you're not getting like that closure that you need. That's something that can hurt if you're that person. But I think that may be one of the things they're trying to revamp, getting things done quicker, and getting people the closure that they need, and also just being able to give justice where it's due quicker.
I agree. I haven't had any personal experience, but I can sympathize and I can agree. Mm-hmm.
And so now to transition to our last story of the day, another campus story, Carrot Man.
What do you guys? Have you guys had any experiences with the carrot?
I don't have any experience. I've seen him though around campus, and he's kind of like an elusive item. Like you see him and you're like scavenger hunt. Like, can I spot him? So it's kind of a cool thing, I guess, on these Cal State campuses where you can who can spot the carrot? But who knows? I heard there's an E. coli outbreak with carrots right now, so maybe he's out sick.
That's where that's what happened.
It's a
possibility.
For sure. I think it's just a funny story. I feel like seeing the carrot, I was like, oh, there's a carrot on campus. That's so cool. And then like slowly but surely, like Gabriella gave us information. Like apparently there's more campuses that have carrots. Apparently this is like an internship, or like this is like a whole company.
Yeah,
We're like, wait,
yeah.
I thought this was just a guy walking around in a carrot suit. And you find out like it leads to a crypto app, and now there's different carrots, and you can like intern to be a carrot. It was just uncovering all this information. I was shocked by it.
It's funny you say that, because when we messaged the carrot back saying, hey, what happened? You're not here on campus. They said, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm the carrot that runs the social media account. The carrot that was going to be on campus said they'd be there, and they didn't show up, so I'll talk to that carrot. So you're right. There is a carrot network, multiple carrots at different schools, all collaborating to sell carrot. What was it? The micro. What is the website? It was the crypto. Yeah, the crypto. Crypto account carrot. The crypto website. Yeah. So it's a whole carrot network. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with that story. Well, it seems like it's just a whole carrot network, and they're slowly pushing that cryptocurrency app. So we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
And with that, that's all the time we have for today. Have a great week, everyone.
And stay tuned for more news, views, and different views.
We'll see you all next time on The Report.